Later the next day at school, Paco has already threatened Hoban and Snapper into being part of his stream, intending to make them fight for his own profit. Snapper tells Hoban this would be a really good time to do that bully confrontation, but Hoban keeps putting it off, saying he'll wait for the right moment. Eventually, while Paco is giving his usual speech to his subscribers about a giveaway, Hoban seizes the moment. He interrupts Paco's stream to call them out for scamming his viewers since no one has ever actually won anything from his giveaways. On top of that, Hoban calls Paco a piece of crap but derives joy from bullying those weaker than him. As proof, Hoban takes off his shirt to show the bruises Paco has inflicted on him. Hoban thinks to himself he gets beat up every time he comes to school anyway, so why not use it to make some money? The commotion draws the attention of a bunch of students in the halls who all think Paco is going to beat up Hoban like usual. The outcome seems clear, but that doesn't stop them from staying to watch. Everything is going according to Snapper's plan. Hoban will be able to draw a bunch of Paco's subscribers to his channel if he exposes him live. Paco seems pretty mad, but his expression quickly changes to a smug grin as he mocks Hoban for trying to expose him on stream. He reveals his phone battery already died, so the stream ended before Hoban could expose him. Paco's social status is still secure, and he intends to make Hoban regret ever trying to mess with him. He raises his hand and smacks Hoban across the face, following up with several more slaps. But this is all part of Snapper's plan too. Snapper wasn't dumb enough to rely on exposing Paco on Paco's own stream. He had already set up his own stream and has been secretly recording Paco ever since he started beating up Hoban. It's the perfect way to make money off Hoban getting beat up while also ruining Paco's reputation. Hoban wonders if people really want to see a kid get beat up so badly. He's doing this to make a lot of money so he can afford his mother's treatment without having to keep flipping burgers. To make sure that happens, he needs to make this video blow up. So instead of just letting himself get beat up, he decides he'll actually fight back. Snapper sees what Hoban is doing and doesn't think it's a good idea to stand up to Paco. If Hoban had stayed quiet, it would have just been a short beating, but now he's in for the fight of his life. Snapper has to admit Hoban has gotten a lot braver in the past few days. Internally, Hoban is pissing himself in fear. He gets into a fighting stance, but now that he takes a good look at Paco, there's no way he can fight that monster and walk away alive. He can't back out either since everyone already saw him challenge Paco to a fight. Normally, he would have considered getting down on his knees and apologizing, but then Paco insulted Hoban's mom for having cancer. That's when Hoban stopped caring and just went for it. He tackles Paco by going straight for his leg, and that might have done something if there wasn't a 100-pound weight difference between the two of them. Paco admits Hoban was fast enough to catch him off guard like that, but Hoban should have known he was no match for him. Paco picks Hoban up and mocks him some more, saying he's going to send him to the hospital to be closer to his dying mother. Paco slams Hoban to the ground with such force that Hoban starts reevaluating his life decisions. He never knew weight made such a huge difference in a fight since the only experience he has is with Snapper, who's around the same weight as him. Hoban knows he's lost the fight, but Paco isn't done yet. Paco gets on top of him and begins caving his face in. But before he can permanently disfigure Hoban, he gets interrupted by a guy telling him he's being too noisy. Paco gets up, ready to beat up whoever said that, but he realizes it's Kim, a rising star in M&A. Paco immediately takes back everything he just said because he knows Kim could knock him out in a heartbeat. Kim tells Paco to stay quiet because he wants to go back to sleep, and Paco should make sure he doesn't get woken up again by his antics. Because of this, Paco gives up on beating Hoban up and leaves the class while Hoban lies on the floor. Snapper walks up to him, thinking to himself that even though Hoban got beat up, the way he stood up to Paco was really cool, so he has gained a ton of fans from this. After school, Paco returns home relieved that his phone died before Hoban acted out. It would have been really bad for his image if he actually got exposed like that. He finally plugs his phone in, but he's immediately hit with a bunch of angry messages from his subscribers, calling him a fraud for faking all those giveaways and being a piece of crap. Meanwhile, Hoban is back home and taking a shower. He knows he lost the fight today, and that's how his life has been for the longest time. But even if he couldn't land a good hit on Paco, he was at least able to land a good hit to Paco's wallet. Since the video of Paco beating up Hoban was uploaded, it quickly went viral, showing everyone just how bad of a person Paco really is. Paco tries to salvage the situation and creates an apology video the next day, but he makes one crucial error. He leaves the camera rolling afterward and immediately starts insulting his viewers for being dumb. From there, it's a huge downward spiral since people start looking into some of his old videos, and all of them are found to be staged or fake. In scientific terms, Paco falls off. But one man's downfall is another's staircase, as Hoban has cemented himself as a popular YouTuber and is raking in big bucks. However, there's no going back now that he's in the public eye, so he needs to think about what he's going to do for his next video. Earlier, when he met with Snapper, they discussed switching the content they created to fights. There's one major issue with that plan. Hoban still sucks at fighting. At best, he could probably last a minute in a fight before it just turns into a beatdown. They'll never make any decent money if all the videos are that short. For the videos to be profitable, Hoban needs to last at least a few minutes in a fight, but he has no idea how to do that. He turns to the internet for some quick advice on how to fight better, but all the advice involves years of training and Hoban doesn't have time for that. He tries looking up some martial arts videos to learn some self-defense, but none of them are easy enough to replicate from just watching a video. Hoban decides he'll have to teach himself how to fight, so he tries looking up some basics but accidentally misspells the word fight. Strangely, there's actually a channel called How to Fight, but it has no views or subscribers. Hoban assumes it must have been made by mistake or something. But no, the channel has hundreds of videos despite no one ever seeing them. This chance encounter with a chicken man named Sambek is going to change Hoban's life forever. In the first video Hoban watches, Sambek explains the state of mind you need to control a fight. Rule number 1 is never to let yourself get worked up during a fight, because once you do, your opponent can take advantage of your recklessness. On the flip side, you should always try to make your opponent slip up and act emotionally, because that will give you a great advantage. So the first thing Sambek is going to teach is how to take a hit without getting hurt. Hoban pays full attention to everything Sambek explains in the video, but it seems too good to be true. He writes it off as a scam, thinking they'll try to sell him a course later on. He goes to bed for the night, and the next day, Hoban heads into work to quit since the money he makes there isn't enough to help pay for his mother's treatment. The news that Hoban is quitting reaches the girls in the changing room, and they all know him from his viral videos. Bomi is particularly interested, so she heads out to the front to meet with Hoban. She thanks him for helping her out last time Paco came there, and since he's quitting, she won't get to see him at work anymore. She wants to exchange contact info with him so they can keep in touch. This right here is the face of a winner, although his text game could use some work. He's still having trouble accepting that Bomi actually wants to talk to him, but it's not a dream. While he's still grinning like an idiot, Snapper slides his way in and asks how it feels to be a YouTuber with 100 subscribers. It's impressive to have gotten that many after only posting 2 videos, but Hoban's got to keep it going. He needs to come up with a way to last at least 3 minutes in a fight. Hoban thinks back to the Chicken Man video he watched, but he still doesn't think the advice will be of much use. He says he needs more time to think of something. Snapper accuses Hoban of not taking things seriously enough. He's famous now, so he needs to start acting like it. Hoban admits that he may be famous, but being famous usually only brings trouble. Just then, Rumi approaches Hoban and asks to do a live stream with him. Since Hoban and Snapper have been dying of thirst for years, they immediately agree. Snapper tries to get in on the action by suggesting Rumi brings a friend so it can be a double date. Just then, Paco bursts into the room out for blood. Hoban ruined his YouTube channel, so he's going to make sure to be in harder than ever. Paco is insanely angry, but that makes Hoban recall what Sambek's video had said about a worked-up opponent being totally reckless. Paco is just looking for a fight, so Hoban decides to try out the advice on how to take a hit without getting hurt, since he'll definitely get punched.